touchdown.
All right, hello and welcome to the first episode of the Steel Studio podcast.
Yes.
I'm Mike Mooney.
I'm Mike's dad, Rick Mooney.
And we are avid lifelong Steelers fans.
Yes, we are.
Why did we want to do the podcast?
We just wanted to have a chance to talk about how much we love this organization, why we love this organization, and we think there's a lot of people out there that realize the Steelers are different than any other organization in sports, and definitely in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. They stand for something.
They do.
A lot more than just any other team.
Right. Yeah. They're family. When players leave the team, they're never the same usually. Any of the players will tell you that they're a family, and just like we're a family. And then that's why we love them so much. I got a chance to meet Mr. Rooney a few years ago, and he was an awesome guy. So it was really, he actually called me up on the phone because I wrote an email when he didn't have time to shake my hand at the Fan Fest.
Yeah. And
I got a call and they said, Dan Rooney wants to talk to you. And I'm like, Dan Rooney? And it was him, and he apologized. He said, you're right. And that's not what we stand for. I should have taken the time, and we're a family, and that's part of what they are.
Yeah, they recognize the values.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, like we said, this is the first episode of the Steel Studio podcast.
Season 1, Episode 1.
That's right. We're available on YouTube. We'll be on iTunes and Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, all those platforms. So, So I guess we can get right into it. 2019. Let's talk 2019 first. We got to baby step this thing.
I was gonna say 2020. What a year!
Yeah. Started terribly so far. Yeah. Cheers to that. So in 2019, the Ravens won the division. Unfortunately, 14-2 they went. We went 8-8. Browns 6-10, and Bengals 2-14.
The Browns, the Super Bowl Browns.
Yes, that's what they say, isn't it? Yeah. They were the Super Bowl off-season champions or whatever they call themselves last year.
Joe Bidens.
Yeah. So we went from 9-6-1 to 8-8. Obviously, didn't make the playoffs 2 years in a row. The last time that actually happened was 2012 and 2013, and we made it to the playoffs 4 years in a row after that.
Oh, let's hope that happens again.
I know. Is Big Ben going to be around for that long?
I think Big Ben's going to be around for 3 or 4 more years. I really do.
You think?
As long as I've heard a lot of reports on the tendons he had surgery on, and there's only a 10% chance that they could re-tear, which is scary to think about as a Steeler fan.
That's not bad.
We want no chance, but
right.
Actually it's 90% chance it won't.
But from a sports perspective, 90% chance, that's good.
Right.
We'll take it. He's been throwing it at training camp. He's been looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too rusty or anything. Not like everyone's been saying. He's never going to be the same. He's never going to come back. He's been looking fine.
Right. And they said he was fat. He's weighs less than he has in 5 years.
He looks good.
Which we knew that. It was the beard.
Yeah, he's mobile. So let's talk 2019, though. It's good things to come out of it. We got to see players without Ben.
Yeah, we did. And the biggest thing that came of it was being able to trade for Minka. I'm not sure if Ben doesn't go down, that trade happens.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And because I don't think the Dolphins would have traded, because they would have thought that we were going to been
right.
They would have gave it to a team with they thought we were going to
better
tank.
In the draft. Yeah, that's
right.
what they said, that they wanted a good draft pick.
And he's a Steeler through and through. That guy.
Oh yeah,
he's just another prototypical
natural-born Steeler. Yep.
Yes.
He and the whole defense kind of rallied around him. They were pretty good to start the year, but obviously we got our butts kicked by the Patriots in the first week, and the defense looked terrible.
Again.
Yeah. But I just once we got Minka, everything turned around for the defense.
Oh, everything.
Yeah,
he was amazing. And of course the pass rush helped, but the guy's he really says he doesn't even know the defense that well. So wait till this year when he can move around more and knows the defense a lot better. I think he's going to be even better.
Yeah, imagine how good we'll be.
Oh, this defense is going to be out of this world.
So, we also got to see the backup QBs a little bit. You think that Mason Rudolph is the future for the Steelers organization, or no?
Well, if Ben plays 3 or 4 more years, I don't think he'll even be on the team by then. But I don't think he played as bad as people think.
He started better
for a guy that never was even on the roster the year before. So.
Yeah, when I was watching highlights the other day, I was watching that Seahawks game. when Ben first came out, and he went in there and he he looked like he was kicking ass. I mean, he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He did like a nice duck down and threw it around for McDonald for a touchdown. He looked agile, looked good.
I think his biggest issue was in his head. He thought too much. He tried too hard and perfectionist, and he made mistakes when he did that. But no, it's an incomplete with him. He was average at best, but I wouldn't say you could say he's a franchise quarterback. But most quarterbacks that started their first year last year, you really can't say that. Right. So, I mean, Lamar was amazing. The guy can run, but I'm still not sold that the guy can throw if he had to throw consistently.
No, and I mean, like you see all those running quarterbacks, what happens to them is everyone figures out their little jive and what they do, and then the next year they're not as good.
Right, right.
Yeah, I was planning to get into that when we get into our 2020 predictions.
I'm sorry, I keep going on that.
No, you're good. That's a good observation.
So what else came? I think Devin Bush is highly underrated. I think he's going to be a good player, and maybe that's because Minka.
Is he going to have it a little bit rough? I mean, like, we don't have a lot of inside linebacker depth.
No, we don't. But I think Vince Williams will be okay this year. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure he'll be on the team next year, but we can't worry about next year.
Right.
As other podcasts
one step at a time. One step at a time. We got an entire year coming up. Everyone else is worried about next year's salary cap.
No, we could talk about that next year in the offseason. The Steelers always find a way. But I am a little concerned about that depth and the safety depth. But, when you have a team with this many stars, how are you going to have depth at every position? There's always a risk.
Right. Well, I mean, you can only allocate so much funds and so much time to certain positions. You're going to have a little bit of gaps, and you just have to be flexible with that.
Now, I do think that the linebacker from Akron that they had drafted last year, I think he could be.
Last year, right?
He was hurt. Yeah, he got hurt.
Right. What's his name? Is it?
I'm old, folks.
Spillane?
So.
No. We just picked him up this year.
Special teamer.
We just picked him up this year, right?
So. Why can I can't see him. I'm old. Sorry, folks. Anyway, UG3 they call him.
Oh, yeah. He's
Ulysses Gilbert
Grant.
Not Grant.
Gilbert.
He was president, but hopefully he's as good as that. Hopefully this guy's as good as him.
Too much beer.
Gilbert,
much beer already.
Yeah, the Two Drunks podcast. But he's got a lot of athleticism and he played well, but he hurt his back.
Tomlin said he was coming back up.
So hopefully I think by the end of the year he could be a starter, and Vince Williams might be, And Mark Barron, we lost him, but he was
not that great.
No, average player.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of depth would be good just to, because I know Bush came off the field on third downs a lot last year. A little bit of depth would be
I don't think he will this year. I think he'll stay on.
I mean, as long as he's conditioned for that'd be great.
Right.
Because we need him. He's obviously a great
obviously,
player.
Also at outside linebacker, there's not, if TJ or Dupree go down, there's no certainty.
Depth there either, really.
But that's most teams. I think if you look through every roster, you'll see that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had some good, for not having a first-round pick, we had a pretty good draft.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah,
this year. Absolutely. Yeah.
Chase Claypool's going to be great.
I think so. I think it's another steal, and the guy's a monster.
So where does he fit in? Is he fourth-string receiver?
I think so.
Is he? So does that get rid of Switzer? I mean, I got the signed Switzer jersey.
No, I actually think Ryan Switzer will make the team as well.
Do you?
I do. He's a veteran, and without having a camp and mini camps, he's the most veteran receiver. He knows the plays.
That's true. He does know the playbook.
And I think, he can also return. Whether it might not be that great, he's average. But I think with Ben, he's better. I think he could be better. So I think, 2 years ago when they lost Antonio Brown, when Brown was there with an amazing offense. And that's my biggest concern with the offense this year is that we still haven't proven we can make it without Brown. But we didn't have Ben, so you really can't.
Yeah, I mean, how can you diversify with Juju when you can only run a couple plays because you're down to your third-string quarterback?
And when people knew we couldn't throw, they just stacked the box and stopped the run.
Yeah.
We couldn't do anything.
8 people in the box every play. Yeah,
right.
And he's getting sacked, he's getting hit. So it'll be good to kind of separate that out, spread that out, and we'll be able to do like a nice fast-paced offense this year.
I think it's going to be great.
Football.
They did sign a quarterback coach, Matt Canada. He does a lot of more play action, and that's what he did when he was at Pitt. And
man, we did that at the beginning of the offseason. I've already forgotten about that.
Yeah, he's
it's already been a few months.
I think he's going to have a big stamp on the offense, just like the guy that they signed from Cincinnati, the DB's coach. had with the defense. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name.
I should have looked this stuff up before. Sorry, it's our first podcast. I'll bring it up next time.
That's okay. Anybody else from the draft that looked good? I mean, Carlos Davis was a 7th round pick, defensive tackle. Is that someone who fills in for Hargrave or not really? Does he even make the team?
I think he'll be a practice squad player.
Okay. That's your
I'm not sure we can replace Hargrave as he was, but I think that we'll have multiple guys in that role, and we could still trade for a nose tackle too. Don't be surprised, or sign somebody.
Right. We have a lot of defensive tackle / defensive end players.
Right.
Do you think that kind of shows us kind of forming more into a 4-3 than a 3-4? I mean, I know we run the traditional 3-4, but does that adjustment come as you have we picked up the guy from Baltimore, Chris Wormley? You know, and does that kind of form into a 4-3? Is it like an outside backer almost?
I don't know it'd be like a 4-3 necessarily, but they'll have 2 linemen on the field, more DBs or more linebackers or in passing downs.
Yeah.
But they could go to a 4-3, but those guys, I don't know if they fit a 4-3. They're big enough, are they?
Well, I mean, it would spread them out more on the end,
right?
And then shove in because no one's going nose tackle.
And Bugs is a very good pass rusher,
right?
That's what he's good at.
But we've got Alu, we've got Hayward still, and
Big Dan
McCullers, yeah. And Tuitt's coming back. Hopefully he can stay healthy.
That should make a big
Hopefully
difference.
he can stay healthy.
Yeah,
he was
a big year for him to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So what else from the 2019 do you think? No one on offense really.
Oh, nobody shined.
It was awful.
I mean, I guess James Washington took a couple steps forward, but nothing big.
And Deontay.
Deontay looked great. He's so underrated. Would they rank him 10th best rookie wide receiver? I can't believe that.
And he was
some of the
league
best
in catches for rookie receivers.
So. Unbelievable.
I think he could be the next AB. I guess he's gained about 7 pounds.
That's good. A little bit of weight because he was scrawny. I mean, more tough than me, obviously.
And
but
he'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about him.
Yeah.
We had no tight ends last year too, so
that's kind of sad.
But I think a lot of it was just they couldn't.
Nobody could get open. You got 8 people in the box. You have to use them to block. And that's what we were doing. We were running 2 receivers downfield for a pass. And it's probably not the offensive coordinator's fault, but I kind of want to blame him a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not the biggest Randy Fichtner fan.
Well, Ben called a lot of his own plays 2 years ago and last year.
That's true. He does a lot of changing at the line.
Yeah, they did some dumb. The Jalen Samuels throwing the ball, the Wildcat. That was stupid.
Is he going to make the team?
That's a good question. A lot of people think not.
His only good game was the one against the Patriots 2 years ago.
Running back. He's supposed to be pretty good. Same kind of player as him. But
and we picked one up in the draft too.
Right. Oh, McFarland.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he's going to be good.
And obviously, I mean, Connor stick around unless he's injury prone again.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll be. It'll depend on how much money he does want. But
Benny.
Benny. I think it could be.
He's
Benny.
dominant.
Yeah.
He's great.
I think, but we don't want to talk about next year. But let's just.
I know.
Hopefully, Connor will have the best season he's ever had. Juju as well, and everyone else. But as far as last year goes, it was with all that, and we still finished 8-8. That's a pretty good coaching job by Tomlin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were in it. We were 2 or 3 plays from making the playoffs. As the year before too, when we had Ben, it was a sickening season. But
yeah, and that was with AB. That's the one that hurts because we obviously still had high-powered offense.
But we didn't have the defense.
Right? So cool. I mean, to finish off, I mean, 2019 was a bad year for us, obviously, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. 8-8 with what we had, with Duck throwing the ball for when he finished out the last 3 games or something.
Right.
I mean, we could have been a lot worse.
So
we finished second in the division with that. I don't know if I give that to
if the Browns
coaching or
were
if you
8-8,
give that to
they'd be
defense.
having a parade.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry,
true.
Browns fans.
Well, this division's actually kind of all over the place, and it seems like the Steelers are like the one kind of consistent team in the division. I mean, because 2 years ago the Ravens were terrible.
This year, I think, without having an off season, workouts, and Browns have a new coaching staff, that's going to take a while to gel.
Well, I hope it does.
And then we have the consistent coaches, consistent players, probably the most veteran team.
Yeah.
And I think that And I cannot have. I have a hard time believing that the way the Ravens whooped our ass in that last game that we don't remember that because they whooped our ass.
Oh yeah, and that was with their Robert Griffin III.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's really
We quit.
bad.
We gave up. We just said we're
we
done.
said season's
But
done.
we're still gonna remember. They ran it up. Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And yeah, we need to make them pay for that.
So let's keep moving. Obviously, we already started talking a little bit about 2020. Training camp and the coronavirus. Obviously, coronavirus, everyone's sick of hearing about it, but it's been shoved down all our throats. But, I mean, corona obviously has already impacted the season. Do you think we have a season?
I do think we have a season.
That's good.
I do. I think with baseball going on still and the NBA going on and hockey's playing.
There's no reason not to.
Not gonna.
Now, are fans going to attend?
I think some places will have fans, yes.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers say they're going to have fans.
That's good.
Just have to wear a mask.
Right. Yeah. But if they work, I mean, then what's the issue?
Right.
Right. Not to be political. I mean, just straightforward. Hopefully, obviously, people don't get that. So the bubble we think is enough for training camp. Limited preseason this year, though.
No preseason.
No preseason. Yeah. I mean, there's just the practicing.
That worries
right.
me, 'cause
Right.
Ben's always rusty to start. Anyway.
Right. So how slow are we going to start now?
Right.
I mean, and he normally only plays one drive for the third and fourth game.
Right.
And then he's out anyways. So.
Maybe we'll start good this time.
I hope so. We got to come out. We got to come out aggressive.
They're not going to have any fans, the Giants.
What's that? That's mid-September game. So we actually don't start again. We don't. That's September 14th, I think it is. We don't start until for another month almost.
Right. Yeah, that's
So
4 weeks.
I mean, Steelers mindset. Steelers do practice harder than a lot of other teams.
Yeah.
More physical.
Yes.
So hopefully that's a good thing. We can get started off the ball a lot better.
I think that's another thing too. After last year, we're pretty hungry. That was very disappointing. We know we're better than that.
Yeah.
And,
if Ben was around, you think we would have gone to the playoffs? But obviously, assume we got Minka.
I definitely think we would have went to the playoffs, but I don't. I still think the offense may have struggled. So.
Yeah. And I mean, we expected that a little bit. Nobody expected for us to have a receiving core, and that made us not have a receiving core. When they think that none of those people are capable, then they just stack the box.
And now with James Washington and Deontay and picking up Ebron, that's huge.
Yeah.
The guy's going to be a stud. And McDonald. I think we'll see some things we haven't seen in a few years, so it should be fun.
So I want to talk about a little bit of an unknown player, Curtis Riley, the new free safety. Think anything good of him? Think he's going to be able to kind of backfill a little bit to get Edmonds kind of out of there? That's kind of where we...
What I've heard and read, no. He doesn't have good hands. He doesn't have good tackling skills. He's a veteran. That's all he is. And
could be good for coaching up some
I mean,
young guys,
I think
though.
he's just as good as Sean Davis was.
Right. So Antoine Brooks Jr., the guy we drafted, anything there?
I think he's going to be better than people think.
That's good.
He's a stud. He's a hitter.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, he's not very good in coverage.
That's okay, though, because if people are intimidated...
Right.
That
He'll play
plays
probably
a big
in
factor.
the box some. It worries me if Minka gets hurt, just like when Troy, if he got hurt, we'd be screwed. But
he kind of, to me,
change the defense a little bit.
Yeah, to me, I see him kind of fitting into that. We've got like a 5 or 6 DB set, third and long kind of, and he plays aggressively in the slot and keeps people from getting off the ball. And that's kind of like a perfect role I see for that guy. It's aggressive, and he gets right in people's faces.
How do you feel about Terrell Edmonds? I mean, this is a big year for him. Is he?
It is a big year for him.
He's probably the weakest player on the D, right?
But I mean, I feel like he stepped up a little bit last year. Like he did make some plays. Obviously, he gave up quite a bit of plays too. Yeah. But I don't know. Like I could see him actually turning around a little bit. Like you said, we have a new DB's coach. I just see a different attitude out of the Steelers, and maybe that pushes him to get better.
Yeah, but I hope so. I mean, he's a good athlete.
I like the guy. Yeah,
family,
he makes great plays.
He just can't follow through with turnovers and stuff. I think he's had 2 or 1 or 2 in 2 or 3 years. Or whatever.
He's got touches. He gets his hands kind of right there.
Right.
He tips, but he just doesn't catch it. So.
Right.
Well, cool. Let's talk a little bit of off-season movement. So, going out, we lost Javon Hargrave, obviously. We said we can't really backfill him that easily.
Right.
Matakevich is gone, but Derek Watt fills that role on special teams, obviously. Is there anyone else that was a huge for us? I mean, Finney's gone, but we backfilled that with Wisniewski.
Then and Filer's going to play guard, I think.
Yeah.
And one of Banner or Chooks, Core 4 are going to be I think it's
the
going to
new
be
tackle.
Chooks.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be fine there.
Not a big
Filer's
deal.
a stud.
Oh yeah, he's great.
strong. And they knew
Castro's
that.
obviously the best lineman we have, but Filer could be right there.
And I was mad when they let Finney go, and he really didn't get that much.
Not that much money
But-
he wanted. I mean,
And
he was a Steelers fan.
Right, and
Yeah.
that really made me mad. I'm like,
Yeah. But that's the
but
business.
he chose to go.
Yeah, that's
So,
the business. It's an opportunity
Good
for
luck
him.
to him. And Terrell Austin is the DB's coach that we got last
That's
year.
right. That's right.
Sorry, folks. But, he made the choice to go. So he could have stayed for less or a little bit less. They probably would have gave him a deal. They were going to offer him a deal.
Yeah, it's his time to shine,
Yeah, that's true.
And he obviously was able to fill in for us in multiple positions, guard and center, whatever we needed. And you didn't really see a loss in performance, really. I mean, in fact, I kind of liked him playing more last year than I did like Ramon Foster.
I think who's our backup singer? Wisniewski? Like he played both
Wisniewski's the
as
one,
well. Yeah.
right? Yeah, the
he's
guy we
from
picked up
Pittsburgh.
from Kansas City. Yeah,
He's from Pittsburgh.
yeah.
So
We talked Chris Wormley a little bit.
yeah, he's only on a 1-year deal, so it's kind of a weird thing.
You think he's any good? I mean, he's good, but like, you think he's like a dominant factor? We keep him after a year?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't think we do. I mean, I hope we do because I
He's-
actually like the guy. He's a big dude. He's just tall.
Yeah, he might fit into our defense, better than the Ravens.
Right. He seems more of like a hybrid that he can get off the ball and I mean, we do drop our DBs into pass our linemen into pass coverage, and hopefully that's something we can do. Yeah. Do you think we're missing anybody else? I mean, Chicolo's gone, Barron's gone.
Chipolo, it's just
Nothing.
a guy.
Just a
I
guy.
don't even
Yeah.
think he signed any. Neither one of them signed anywhere, did they?
I don't know. I mean, Barron's at the age that.
I don't think either one of them signed anywhere. So what's that tell you? Chicolo may have.
I don't know. I don't
But he'll
remember.
never
But I
be.
mean, obviously, we don't care that much.
No,
We
and I
didn't
like
keep
the
track of
guy.
it.
I thought he was cool, and I thought he could do a little better, but he never materialized
Very
that much.
underperforming. It just just underwhelming in general. You expect a lot more out of him.
In a day and A, I'm not. People hype him up, and I haven't seen a damn thing from the guy.
Hey, maybe he can get more physical. He didn't seem aggressive getting
No,
off the
he
ball.
just he stood there.
Yeah, and he was too worried about zoning to the outside
as
to make sure that he did contain.
Choose our skipper.
Yeah.
But I do think the rookie, Highsmith, looks good.
Yeah.
Just
Where did he
dude's-
come from?
Charlotte.
Yeah.
The dude's big.
Yeah, he is big. Hey man, I hope maybe that's the backfill we need in linebacker. And they did say he can play a more inside or outside and kind of jump between the two. Is he fast? Do you know?
I
don't
don't
know.
know if he's fast, but he gets off the ball and he uses his hands well.
Hey, that's the most important thing.
Right. I mean, I'm sure he's fast, but I know the guy from Clemson said he was the hardest pass rusher he played against all year when they played Clemson.
Who said that? The quarterback?
The coach of Clemson.
Coach? What's his name? He's talking about the head coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, that's a good compliment, though, considering they made it to the national championship.
Right.
Who else did we pick up, though? Eric A. Brown, we talked about him.
Yeah. He's
Gonna
going
be
to
a
be great in
stud.
the red zone, especially, and better than people think.
Yeah. Is he TE1 or TE2? 2? Obviously, you don't want to take it away from McDonald.
I think he'll be one myself.
Do you?
By
He's
the end of the
good.
year, yeah.
He's not as big as fans.
I think they're both.
Obviously.
They don't. Either one of them care. They
No,
just
they're
want to win.
selfless. Yeah.
And when Ebron had a good quarterback, I don't care what anybody says. I don't think Jacoby Brissett's a very good. He's average. They've tried to hype him up, as they do a lot of guys.
Right. Yeah. That's the business.
Baker Mayfield. Actually, I think Baker's got a better arm than Jacoby Brissett.
Do you? It's
Yeah.
close. I don't think Baker just kind of throws the ball up in the air. I mean, especially this past year, because they were hyping him up the year before. They said he beat the touchdown record for rookies. He beat Patrick Mahomes' record. And then this next year he throws 28 interceptions or something.
Right.
Just
Right.
Yeah, he also broke that record. It's like
fault.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Too
For
much
all
eating
Freddie
the
Kitchens,
kitchen.
he threw the ball. So what do you think for the season though? Obviously, like who do you think wins the division?
I think we win the division.
You
I
do?
really do.
I
Yes.
do too. What do you think our record's
I
going to
think
be?
the schedule's decent. Sets up well.
Schedule is decent. Yeah, we're finally not.
I
under
think we'll
a
be
massive
12-4,
schedule.
and that's not being a homer. I really believe it. If I didn't think that, I wouldn't say it.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. I think we will in division as well. I don't want to sound like
It's not going to be easy against the
I
Ravens,
think
so.
my prediction was
Because
11-5.
Harbaugh outcoaches Tomlin every time we play him.
Harbaugh's a good coach.
He's a
a
great
good coach. And he finds a way every time.
And if they can run the ball like they did last year, then they'll be.
we're so much more
That's the
physical
only
this year.
another fear I have too. Is we can stop. Can we stop the run? like we did.
I think we can contain a little
Hargrave.
better with.
But we have two at back too, so.
Yeah, and I mean he rips through the O-line. Just.
I do think our defense will be number one defense in the league.
I think so. And we're aggressive. And if
We
not
stay
number
healthy.
one, we'll be top 5 for definitely, pending any injuries.
And the Ravens made some changes. They did sign a couple of guys, but I think they're older guys.
Yeah.
And people aren't, of course, they're not saying that.
So I'm assuming by you talking the Ravens, you think that they come second in the division.
Yeah, I do.
So I was going to say they would be 10-6, we'd be 11-5,
Yeah.
and it
Or
could
they
be,
could be
we could both
11-5.
make the playoffs and end up playing each other, kind of
Good.
round one. That was my thought as well, honestly, with the Bengals and the Browns. I don't know who's going to be better.
I think the Browns will be better.
You do.
But I think the Bengals were surprised.
Bengals coach, I just don't feel that he's very
Right.
good. But I mean, obviously, they could rally around their new quarterback.
It is his second year, too, so we'll see. Maybe he'll do better.
Coach, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. He just didn't seem. Yeah, he seemed
They
very
really
out.
didn't
of it.
address their offensive line like they should have. The
No,
Bengals.
no.
And the Browns did. Browns do have Nick Chubb. He's a stud. And if they use the other guy right, which they might with a new coach,
You never know, though. I mean, Case Keenum could be in there,
and
and
this
they
will
could
be
be
his
throwing
last
the ball
year
like
too.
crazy.
That guy, he won't be on the Browns anymore. Who's the other running back from Chiefs? They got the one who was smoking the weed.
Man, I got to get back into the season because I know the dude with the long hair. He was
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, he got in trouble for punching that girl or whatever, didn't he? The Kent State girl,
But we both
Or
met.
kicking her or something.
We both met
Nick Chubb.
Nick
yeah.
Chubb, and
he's a good
really
dude.
good dude.
He's a nice guy.
And here's a question for you, not to change the subject, but how are the Browns going to keep? Let's say Baker does have a decent. How are they going to keep Chubb? Pay him?
No, because
And Baker,
this
pay
next
him.
year for them is contract time
Right.
for Baker and all
I
them,
just
right?
don't
It's
see
not
it.
going to happen. So if they do perform well, they got no money.
Although they've signed some guys, re-signed, I'm just kind of surprised.
They're restructured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of the guys though they signed this offseason were all on 1-year deals, so
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
I agree. So what are the records you think? You think us 12-4, Ravens? What do you think?
I think 11-5. I'm not going to discount
Right up
them.
there with us. Yeah.
Browns 7-9, I think, at best, and the Bengals probably 4 or 5 wins.
Okay, that's pretty close to what I was saying. I was going to say Bengals 5-11,
Right.
Browns 6-10. I wasn't going to give them that 7th because
Well,
first
they
year
haven't
coach.
proven it yet.
Yeah, I feel like when you get to the 7-9 threshold, you're not a bad team. You're just not a good team either. And 6-10, you're still a bad team. And I think they can get
Too many
there. It's
changes,
just
though.
they've always changing in the organization.
Yeah.
New GM, new coach, new GM, new.
Well, they have
it's like-
talent. Give them talent.
Yeah, I just
But
feel
is
like
it
they're very
a
underwhelming.
Steelers have a unit? Like,
Right. The Browns don't feel like a team.
No.
They just
Not-
feel like
not so far.
We
Maybe
piece
they'll
and part
change.
the OBJ and Landry, and we piece and part these guys together, and
Right.
then they just sit there and they complain about.
One of
things
those two,
going
I
wrong.
think, will be gone after this year too.
Yeah.
Maybe they will keep Chubb and get rid of one of them. But
Hey, I hope they get rid of Chubb because I'd like him.
yeah.
I think he's a good guy. I think he's.
And then again, those running backs, they only last a few years, and then usually they fizzle out too. So, but I just want football. I would take football even if the Browns won the division at this point. Just to
I
have
don't want that, but but I still want football. I mean, we need it, right? There's
Yeah,
been
we
like
do.
no coverage, no action. I felt weird like starting this because I feel like the season's just been like pushed out,
Yeah.
and it just
Life's been pushed out.
yeah, right. You can't do anything. It's crazy. So I mean, it's been a weird adjustment. So obviously, you think we win the division.
I do.
What about?
Woo!
That's right. That's right. Do we? So we make it to the playoffs then? Obviously, how far do we go? Do we go to the Super Bowl?
I think we can. I think
Right.
we can.
It's
Because of our
sad
defense.
because we're starting the podcast on a year that we actually feel like we can go to Super Bowl, and now we sound like homers.
Yeah.
But in reality, I mean, I wasn't saying that last year.
Right.
And that was before Ben's injury. We didn't feel like we could make it that far.
or the year before, even with the
with Brown,
Patriots.
when we had no defense. Yeah.
I'm not sold on the Chiefs. I'm sorry. Mahomes is amazing.
But that's it.
Yeah.
And now after their contract with him, it's they don't have
Yeah, he
a
actually
long.
signed a pretty
this
good
year they
friendly
have
deal for them this year. Yeah. So.
this year, right? But after that, long term, they're going to be picked apart.
Yeah, they could be.
I mean, they're going to have no money. That's what the biggest contract in NFL history, isn't it?
Yeah, but he could have got more actually per year. So.
He just did a long term, right? 10
Right.
years or whatever.
Right.
That's crazy because you don't know what he's going to be like in 10 years.
No.
He's got guaranteed hundreds of millions of dollars.
That's
now.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So, yeah, I mean, we think we can make
I mean,
the
who
Super
else in
Bowl.
the AFC? The Bills scare you?
No, I like their coach
We
though.
would have beat them last year.
We should
if,
have.
if we had Ben.
But I tell you, I really like their coach. I think he seems like a good dude.
They're just missing something still.
They don't click like a unit, kind of similar.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Colts scare me a little if Rivers plays well.
He's done.
But they just...
Doesn't he just seem like a fragile guy? Like he's just walking glass. I don't know why.
Seems like he's always mad. Well, for the Chargers to let him go. I mean, that's...
That says something, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that says maybe they... I mean, they're saying...
And he only got a one-year deal, I think.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
But about
Surprisingly...
New England, half the team opted out, so they're not going to be...
No, and I really don't think Cam Newton's that good. Same thing as we were saying with the Ravens, right? When you have this running quarterback, or just anyone who's more mobile, people catch on, they contain them.
Seems to be that way.
And then, I mean, 2 or 3 years down the line, that offense doesn't move. I mean, people just pick up on it, get the scheme, and shut them down.
Yeah, I want to see Lamar prove he can throw for 400 yards in a game and win a game.
Right.
Without running.
Without running.
He's a freak runner, though. I mean, the guy is good.
But like, I mean, once people take the wind out of your sails with that,
that's what happened.
Nothing.
They out in the first round of playoffs because Tennessee did exactly that.
Shut them down, contained them. Yep. Yeah, I mean,
that's actually a team that could be decent, but I'm not sold on Tannehill either.
No, but they do have they honestly have kind of an offense that I wish the Steelers had. Not the players, obviously, but they have a smash mouth run the football offense, and I like that.
I still don't know that we'll be that this year. Do you? It scares me to have Ben throw 5,000 passes. Benny
Snell can just run the ball right up the middle. I mean, so maybe we can. I don't know. I mean, as long as he stays in shape or gets in better shape, because he said that he wasn't in that good of shape last year. So I mean, if he can get in better shape,
we'll all say that. We'll see.
Yeah, you never know, especially
I love the
with
guy.
coronavirus thrown in another variable.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, that's all I've got. You have anything you want to add?
Well, we're just going to try to go through each week. We're going to talk about what's going on with the team. We're going to talk about the upcoming games. We're going to preview the team we're playing. Maybe even get a beat writer from that to call in and do an interview with us. Eventually, we'll have players on, former players, and we'd like to have emails, get fans call in or guest hosts.
That's right. Yep.
There's things we want to do. This is all new to us.
Yep.
And people can comment, right? If they
absolutely,
give us some,
you can comment on YouTube, or our email address will be in the description on every website that we post.
Yeah, so send an email. We'll read it and we'll answer your questions.
Absolutely.
We're not experts. We don't claim to be experts.
Yeah, and if people want to call in and say something or talk to us and we can record a call ahead of time or whatever, just let us know.
Yeah,
we're happy to play along. It's fun. We're just doing this for fun. It's right? It's talking Steelers.
Right, talking Steelers.
Yeah, so I do want to close out. I know we kind of went back and forth on planning on this, but I do want to actually do the historic player profile kind of thing. And I want to talk about one of the most legendary Steelers of all time. Obviously, everybody listening or watching probably knows who this guy is. If they don't, I can't call him a Steelers fan. Jack Ham.
Ham, amazing guy.
Amazing guy. So Jack Ham's obviously still alive. He played college ball at Penn State, so he's been Pennsylvania through and through. He was an All-American his senior year. A lot of people didn't know that. 251 career tackles in college alone, which is, an astounding amount, 143 of which were unassisted. That's just college. Jack was a second-round pick for us, 34th overall in 71, and he started as an inside linebacker as a rookie. And actually, Devin Bush reminds me a little bit of him, not because of his. I think Jack Ham was actually a little bit faster, but that's well. What they said was that within the first 10 yards, right? Within the first 10 yards, Jack Ham was the fastest guy on the team, and he played so much downhill that's what caused the big difference. Obviously, after that, he was slow as shit.
He was a consistent player.
Right. Yes. And they said he could dissect a play immediately.
Right.
And see where it was going to go. He actually, even while not being that fast, beyond 10 yards, like when dropping into pass coverage and everything, he has the most takeaways in NFL history for any non-defensive back at 53.
Wow.
Yeah. 32 interceptions.
53 years old or 53?
53 total takeaways.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That's a record. Yeah, beats Tom Brady's record. Yeah, this guy could probably come back and still kick ass, but he was born in '48, so I don't know.
What's he doing now? Do you know?
I saw that he was doing like radio stuff for a while.
Oh, that's right. He was a play-by-play guy.
Yeah, and he invested in a minor league hockey team at one point, and I don't know if he's still doing that.
Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer, college and pro.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty much he's a staple of our organization.
Exactly.
And we're going to try to preview some guys, some of those guys, and some guys maybe that we people don't remember. That
Exactly.
like,
yeah.
I remember him.
Yeah, this is for people historically that were great to our organization, both well known and not well known.
Right.
That we'll do it every week.
Yeah, every week. Cool.
So
Jack Ham.
Jack Ham. Here's
Makes
to
me
you,
hungry.
Jack Ham. That's right. All right. Well,
All right, man.
This was the first episode of the Steel Studio podcast.
Yes, please comment, subscribe, like and subscribe, and let us know what you think. Help us out with this.
Yep.
Go Steelers.
Absolutely. Go Steelers. Thank you.